And now joining us along the line to look forward to the game this Friday evening is Niamh Lonergan. Niamh, how are things?
Hi, Tomas. Good, thanks. How are you?
Not so bad now. Suppose Aisling Maloney announced captain there this weekend. Sure, it speaks for herself, really, doesn't it?
It does. Look, sure, exactly. She's probably the top player in definitely Munster, if not the country at the moment, and really does deserve to be captain. She's an amazing footballer and an amazing person in general.
Yeah, and Anna Rose Kennedy as vice captain there. Just as we were talking to Aisling there as well, like we've been at plenty of the training sessions over the last few weeks. Lucky enough to have access to them. Like there's plenty of candidates there that they could have picked from.
Oh, there is now, and Anna Rose has been on the panel since 2017, so she is one of the stalwarts now, even at her young age. But I think she has a kind of like an old head on young shoulders, I suppose. You know, she's quite mature, and I think she'd be a great vice captain and psychic to Aisling as well. Look, she's an amazing athlete. She can play all over the field as well, and you know, just the way she plays, it just makes you want to drive on and help her and do the best with her as well. You know.
Yeah, and like we're just talking to Declan and Aisling there and saying that obviously you were involved in 17 when you won the All-Ireland and probably unlucky to get relegated the following year, and you were involved again in 19. But that experience at 17, 18, 19, and they were unlucky last year, really, losing both games by a point. But that experience could probably stand to them this year and going forward.
Oh, absolutely. Like, you know, both of them were losses by 1 point. Really, really close games. And even like at the start of the year before the pandemic hit, you know, they had a very good league campaign. Like they drew with All Ireland title holders Dublin in the first round of the league, you know. So it just shows that like Tipperary are a Division 1 team and they should do well in this league. Now I know they have Dublin as well in this group as well, which are going to be very, very strong. But I do think they can put up to them, and like with Cork on Friday as well, you know. It should be quite a close game.
Yeah, because obviously you have the household names there now, like Aisling and Maria Curley, Anna Rose, Lauren Fitzpatrick, but there's plenty more talent there on that panel as well.
There is, you know, what's great about Tipperary is that they bring the girls in quite, like, you know, around the 17, 18 years of age. And, you know, like it was great. Lucy Spillane, Emma Cronin, they joined in 2018. And, you know, they got to play in Croke Park in 2019. Both of them started, like, and they're brilliant. They're brilliant young girls now. And they've, another 2 years now, done, and they're kind of becoming one of the stalwarts, even though they're so young. And then like they've brought in Edith Carroll and Cliona O'Dwyer, who were, you know, I think they were All Ireland winners in 2008, you know, and you know, the last final in 2013. So they know what Croke Park is like. They know what the good teams are like, you know, and what's out there as well. So it's great to see them back.
Yeah, and looking at Cork, I suppose like Cork are one of the stalwarts there, so we all know what they've done over the last 15, 20 years. But, they're still one of the mainstays in ladies football.
They are. I think the last time Tipp played Cork was in Porky Ring in 2019 in the league, and we bet them that day, and I think it was one of the goals of the year that year were punched into the back of the net by Aisling Maloney, who received a high ball from Brie Condon before that, you know. But Cork are a very strong team. They lost the All-Ireland final there last year to a superior Dublin team, but they'll be gunning for it this year. There's hunger there. There's a lot of girls that have played a lot of football on that team. The likes of Melissa Duggan in defence, who is an exceptional athlete. Then you've got Orla Finn, who's deadly accurate when she has the ball and when she gets the ball in her hand. And of course, the O'Sullivan sisters, who are stalwarts on that team for the last 12, 14 years now. Do you know? So the Cork will be a tough challenge on Friday, but I'm hoping now Tipp could get a good result out of it.
Yeah, because you're just saying there that like a lot of them are 10, 12, 14 years there. And I suppose even the Tipp panel, like you mentioned Lucy Spillane, Emma Cronin, like how young they are, but the experience that they do have. And like the average age is only about 22, 23.
Yeah, I suppose when Sam left, the average really dropped. The average age really dropped there now. When myself and Sam were there, I think we were the two oldest, and then the next one was 24 years of age. And so it is a very, very young team. But like I said, the likes of Emma Cronin, Lucy Spillane, another one is Angela McGuigan, is another girl that, like, they have so much experience for such young talent, young age. Like Caitlin Kennedy is another girl that she'll be a superstar in the next few years. You know, she's got the athleticism and she's got a good head on her shoulders. You know, she's a great athlete and a sister to Anna Rose as well. So, you know, I think the youth on that team, I when you think about it, like, they've got such experience for a young age.
Yeah, just talking about Caitlin Kennedy, like everybody remembers Ashley Maloney's free that probably shouldn't have been given against her against Monaghan last year, but people forget it wasn't like Caitlin Kennedy that kicked the point from about 50 yards just before that, and it was pulled up.
She did. She kicked a massive point. You know, she's one that she'll just tear up the wing back line, and she's there for a score in every game. You know, then again, we've Roisin Howard, who's another. She's a deadly forward, and you know, I think it's great to have her this year as well. I know she's playing camogie, so she is going to be keeping busy, like, but she is a deadly forward when she's given the ball.
Yeah, we've seen that against Monaghan last year with that goal. It's a real goal poacher.
Absolutely, she has an unbelievable work rate. Like we've seen her play a lot in the inside forward line, but then she does play a lot like outside at the centre forward, wing forward in club, and her work rate is unbelievable. But she's a girl you want close to goals. She's a danger woman.
Yeah, and Declan was saying it there that, and I know he said it a few times, and a few other people saying, ladies football is probably easier on the eye than the men's at the moment. And like, you don't have the same sweeper system and a case of backs and forwards and all get behind the ball. And when you do get possession, shoot forward, like they're playing 15 on 15.
They are, yeah. It's great that, like, it's back to kind of the traditional type. Now, I will say there is a lot more hand passing as well in the ladies football, you know, that we're told not to give away the ball, that you have to make sure the pass, and the hand pass is nearly the safest pass if there isn't a good kick pass on. But it's a good game to watch now. The standard is so high. Like, most of these players now are could touch on professional, you know, as we've seen even with the Australian girls, Ashley McCarthy and Orla Dwyer. It's great to see them out there and actually getting a taste of professional sporting, you know.
Yeah, any sign of the girls coming home, or were you talking to them? I see Orla seems to be living it up there on her Instagram there since the grand final.
Yeah, and well deserved. Now she seems to be having a great time out there. I don't know. I'm hoping they are coming home. I know Ashley McCarthy is nursing an injury at the moment, and probably getting the best rehab out there, and sticking to the rehab out in Australia at the moment. But I'm hoping they will be home soon. You know, they may not make it home obviously for Friday or the following weekend, but hopefully they might make it for the semi-finals then, middle of June to late June, and be back training with the girls with Tipp.
They'll be a huge addition when they do come back. Like Orla Dwyer, we've seen her. She was one of the players of the year in Australia. Like, so her confidence is going to be sky high.
Oh, Orla is just a natural athlete. I think any sport she could take or try, she'll excel in it. Like, she's an exceptional footballer, camogie player, and now an Australian rules footballer. She deserves everything she gets because she's worked so hard for it. She's just an unbelievable athlete and such a genuinely nice girl as well, and such a team player. She will do anything for any team she's on. Do you know?
Yeah, I hear a few people saying that she could be an Olympic athlete. Like, what was she like in the sprints and training now down through the years?
Oh, don't talk to me. No one could compete with Orla. Like, we would be doing a 1 kilometer test, and she'd be nearly 100 meters ahead of us when we were just leaving the line. Like, she could be an Olympic athlete. Like, I think she did some sort of athletics when she was younger, and I'd say she could have excelled in that as well. But no one could compete with her. I remember there was a battle between herself and Maloney one day during the testing, and I think Orla just pipped her. Like, no one can beat her at the moment.
Yeah, well, hopefully now the sooner we see him back now, the better. So, and hopefully it's going to be a long year for it.
Hopefully, yeah. So I think it's every week they've Cork, then Waterford, then Dublin. And then I think the middle of June are the semi-finals. So hopefully, I think if they win 2 games, they're through to the semis. And then the finals the 2 weeks after, and then you're straight into championship in July. So we're hoping for a good long summer of good football. Like, and I think they can do it. It is a very tough league that they have, but these are the type of games that will bring them on, and especially the young girls. Like, you want to be playing the best teams in the country. Yeah,
because it'll really help them going forward, and they'll know exactly where they are come championship. Because we see, I suppose, in the men's, they don't seem to take the league as serious, but the league for the ladies football seems to be a benchmark for the championship. Like, we see in the last couple of years, especially when you won in 19. You won the Division 2 league the same year, was it, or was it the year before?
The year before we won Division 2. So in 2017 we won Division 3, and then went straight up to Division 2 and won that against Cavan in Parnell Park. And I remember there was a controversial free at the end, and Jennifer Grant went straight up to the referee and made him change his mind and gave us the free. And we ended up winning by a point. Like, that was a huge buzz now. And what was great is that we got up to Division 1 and we're staying there, because it's quite hard. It's such a hard division to stay in when you come up from a Division 2 or a below division. In any division, when you move up, you'd find it tough to stay up there. But the fact that the girls have stayed up there is a great achievement.
Yeah, because like as we were saying just before you came on, the grassroots has obviously been very well taken care of in Tipperary over the last few years, and that's coming to fruition now. Yeah,
the juvenile development is very strong in Tipperary, and you can see it in the club games that there's great strength in a lot of the clubs at the moment, which is great. It's not just 1 or 2 clubs that are dominating. It's quite a few clubs that are very, very strong from under 12 upwards, really, and I believe that the success of any team is down to their juvenile structure and development. So it's going to be exciting this year to see the club games in full swing.
Yeah, and I suppose just touching on your own club, having somebody like Declan Browne involved and chairperson of the club, like, that must be a huge thing in Moyle Rovers.
Oh, it is great. Declan, he's heavily involved with us now. He has 2 daughters himself that are playing, so it's great for us that he's sticking with the ladies football, and even just down to fundraising and just organising training times, all that kind of stuff. He's so interested in it, and he has full commitment to it. And I know that he's involved with the Tipp senior men's team as well. So he's a busy man at the moment, but it's great to have him involved. He's like, you couldn't have anyone better, to be honest.
Yeah, because I'd be talking to him a couple of times a week now, and there's always ladies football is what he's talking about. And there was a huge fundraiser down there a couple of weeks ago, and he was delighted with the results of it. I think he was kind of burnt out. He turned off his phone for a few days after it, but he said it was well worth it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, it was a great fundraiser. And that's the thing. Declan gets so involved in these things, and his wife Niamh is brilliant as well. Like they're so involved in the development of the ladies football in Moyle Rovers. And Declan's brother Ian is involved with the senior club in the ladies club in Moyle Rovers as well. He's manager. So it's great that to be a player and then to become involved in the committee and the coaching of it as well after they finish playing. It's brilliant now. They can bring so much experience.
Yeah, and are you looking for silverware by the end of the year?
Oh, we're looking for it every year. To us, at the end of the day, like you have to put in the effort to get the result, and we're starting off good now. This week we went back to training and things are looking good, and we've got a good strong team now. And I think Emma's the only Moyle Rovers girl on the Tipp team at the moment. So like it does mean that we have a lot of our club players that will be available for training now. And Emma probably will be there to watch, as she will be training with the county. Like, but we'd be hoping now to give Care a run for their money, and Aherlow maybe as well. Yeah,
because Declan was telling me there that we mightn't get too much of you during the year with commentary now, because she says that you're looking at a long year, like, so. And we were told the same.
Yeah.
With Sam, so I don't know where I'm going to go on.
I know. I'm sure we will be available all right for the commentary. We might do a halftime or something during the middle of the match. But I know hopefully the games will go ahead this year, and that there'll be a league and championship as well. So let's hope all things are going back to normal so that we can compete and play football.
Yeah, well, sure. We're looking at the next couple of weeks anyway. We'll keep the inter-county to keep us busy until then, and hopefully we'll have plenty of matches over the next couple of months. Niamh, thanks very much for coming on to the show, and talk to you again very soon.
Thanks very much, Tomas. Take care.